Good morning, and I thought this morning I might share my morning prayer time with you. I have been working out of a little book entitled Teilhard de Chardin, A Book of Hours. And it just provides really kind of a neat rhythm. So I will be using Wednesdays, dawn prayer setting, and just invite you to join in. Let's begin. In us, the world's evolution towards spirit has become conscious. Radiant word, blazing power, you mold the manifold so as to breathe your life into it. At this very moment, by everything we do, we all share in all, through and in Christ, the Spirit of the earth. Only one thing concerns me, only one thing guides me, to try to be as true as possible to life. Like a rising tide, the mystical milieu has pursued its task of entering into and refashioning the real. I realize that the mystical effort to see must give way to the effort to feel and to surrender myself. This is the phrase of communion. Gladly then. Gladly then, gladly then, I welcome each in its due order and according to its own measure. Every force and every charm, every form and every movement, everything that is great and strong, everything that stands and endures, everything that reaches out and overflows its own limits. A flame bursts forth. Thought is born. We see the trees of life standing before us. A strange tree, no doubt. Life is the rise of consciousness. If it is to progress still further, it can only be because the internal energy is secretly rising up under the mantle of the flowering earth. But in one well-marked religion, let's try that again. But in one well-marked region, at the heart of mammals, where the most powerful brains ever made by nature are to be found, they become red hot. And right at the heart of that glow burns a point of incandescence. We must not lose sight of that line of crimsoned by the dawn. After thousands of years rising below the horizon, a flame bursts forth at a strictly localized point. Thought is born. Discover the secret of the real. What we seek throughout our lives, what we strive for more than our daily bread and any material well-being, is knowledge, is to know, is to experience. The very essence of our life is not our urge. Try it again. The very essence of our life is our urge not for a better life, but for a fuller degree of life. Deeply rooted in the minds of all of us is the conviction that a mysterious fire lies hidden somewhere around us, and that if we are to be happy, we must get possession of it as a torch, to shed light on our understanding of the profound significance of the world. By investing in nature, we shall be able to discover the secrets of the real and put our hands to the underlying forces that control the growth of beings, that we may read the secret, track down the source. And scientific research, for all its claims to be positivist, is colored and haloed, or rather is irresistibly animated by a mystical hope. Thus, its essential urge of our minds is to try and penetrate to the heart of the world. Lord, that I might hold you more closely. I would that my consciousness were as wide as the skies and the earth and the people of the earth, as deep as the past, the desert, the ocean, as tenuous as the atoms of matter or the thought of the human heart. No, the cosmos could not possibly be explained as dust of unconscious elements on which, for some incomprehensible reason, burst into flower as an accident or as a mold, but is fundamentally and primarily living, and it is complete. History is ultimately an immense psychic exercise, the slow but progressive attaining of diffused consciousness, a gradual escape from the material conditions, while secondarily veil it in an initial state of extreme plurality. From this point of view, the human is nothing but the point of emergence in nature, at which this deep cosmic evolution culminates and declares itself. From this point onward, the human ceases to be a spark fallen by chance on earth and coming from another place. Humanity is the flame of a general fermentation of the universe, which breaks out suddenly on earth. Humanity is no longer a sterile enigma or discordant note in nature. Humanity is the key things and the final harmony. In the human, everything takes shape and is explained. Humanity is the collective subjective of a real evolution. The sense of evolution, the sense of species, the sense of the earth, the sense of the human. We're called by music of the universe to reply, each with our own pure and incommunicable harmonic. As love for the all advances in our hearts, we feel stretching out beyond the diversity of our efforts and desires, the bounding simplicity of an urge in which the innumerable shades of passion and action mingle in exaltation without ever becoming confused. Then, within the mass formed by human energy, we shall approach the plenitude of our power and personality. We're inevitably approaching a new age in which the world will throw off its chains and at last give itself up to the power of its inner affinities. Either we must doubt the value of everything around us, or we must utterly believe in the possibility and in the inevitable consequences of universal love. Lord of my childhood and Lord of my last days, God, complete in yourself, yet for us, continually being born. God, you offer yourself to our worship as evolver and evolving, the only being that can satisfy us. Sweep away the last clouds that still hide you, the clouds of hostile prejudice and false creeds. You have become from my mind and my heart much more than a God who was and who is. You have become God who shall be. Not in the form of a ray of light, but as of fire I desire you. And it was as fire I felt your presence in the intuition of my first contact. I shall never find rest unless active forces pour down from you to cover and transform me. Thanks for joining me. Take care.